When I was in my 20s, I was in cable television advertising. And I remember I went on a ski trip and my accounts, I built them up to be kind of on autopilot, you know? You know how people say you're making money while you're sleeping? Well, I was making money while I was skiing. And I remember being on top of this mountain, looking out how beautiful it was, and getting a deposit in my account for like a lot of money. And I was like, wow, life is good, just doing what I love and making money at it and being able to enjoy life. I mean, really, what could be better than that? So it was just kind of a high. It was like my biggest month ever. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 30 years old. And I thought that was super cool.
Welcome to the Fun and Bliss Show,
where fun is our practice.
and bliss is our lifestyle.
I'm Monique.
And I'm Moneeka.
This is a show to help you laugh louder,
Dance more often,
savor the silly and sacred alike,
and turn fun into a blissipline.
so we can live lives of more ease, love, prosperity, and joy.
Let's go! Hi, everybody. I'm Moneeka, author of Choose Bliss and two upcoming movies. One is Choose Bliss and one is A Christmas Rescue.
Hi, I'm Monique. I'm the author of Fun is the Way book.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Fun and Bliss Show, where fun is the practice and bliss is the lifestyle.
I am so excited about today's conversation. We have an incredible guest, and we're going to be talking about money, power, impact for women, and how we get to feel really good while creating it.
Because so many of us were taught that money has to be heavy, serious, even stressful. But what if it didn't have to be? What if money could actually be fun?
Today's guest is someone who is literally changing the financial landscape for women through her work and her powerful documentary and books, Show Her the Money. If you are a woman who wants a more empowered, expansive, joyful relationship with money, this is the episode for you. Before we introduce our guest, though, Moneeka, what did you do for fun today?
Today has been such a fun day. I actually have a lead for one of the characters that I wanted to do for a cameo. I'm saying it all wrong because I'm so excited. But I'm in casting and I've been looking for that right person to get the message out there in the world. And I finally found somebody that I'm super excited about. And so just doing the research and kind of getting to know her and sending her an email and hearing back from her because I heard back from her immediately. It's just been so much fun. What did you do that was fun today?
Oh, a couple of things. So, one is I've been working on our fun and bliss community
Mhm.
and putting that together, and it's so fun. I am so excited for all the juicy goodness that's going as part of that. And also, I went to pottery and I was playing with clay. So, that's always really fun.
I'm really excited about the community too, the way that it's coming together. Kind of, I feel like with the show as well as with the community, we're evolving into more bliss, more fun, more juiciness. And so I'm really excited to watch how that's evolving. So thank you for all your work you've been doing on that, Monique.
My pleasure. Um, and now this is going to be your pleasure because we need to introduce our guest. We've just had the most juicy and incredible conversation with her. And I'm gonna hand the microphone to Moneeka to introduce Catherine.
Yeah, Catherine Gray is actually a dear friend of mine. So it was so much fun to have her on the show. And she is the executive producer of the Show Her the Money movie a venture capitalist, author, keynote speaker, and TEDx speaker, and host of the Invest in Her podcast. Catherine is also the founder CEO of She Angels Investors and co-founder of the She Angels Foundation. As CEO of She Angels Investors multimedia platform, Catherine helps connect founders and funders to resources and to each other. She has a new book out by the same name as the movie, Show Her the Money. It's about the riveting personal stories of founders and funders behind the movie and her movement.
You're going to love this conversation. Catherine, welcome to the show. We're so happy you're here.
Thank you. Good to be here. Let's go.
Let's
go.
Raise the roof.
So, Catherine, with that amazing bio, everybody knows that you're brilliant and you're brilliant around money and everything that you've created. But I want to talk about something kind of fun to start with.
Oh, good. I hope it's multiple choice.
It's not. But based on your bio, what is something about you that people would never guess?
Oh, based on my bio.
Or not even based on your bio, just we heard your bio, right? So
Okay.
what is something that people would know about, would
That
love to
they
hear about
wouldn't
you?
know about me.
Yeah.
Well, they probably would know from the bio, but the only thing I can think of is everybody knows me from the film, Show Her the Money. They know I'm all about venture capital, but maybe they don't know how much I love theater.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And together we are co-producing a fantastic musical called Millennials Are Killing Musicals. And it's all written by, for, and about women. So what could be better than that? Because there's not enough of that on Broadway. So maybe a lot of people don't know that I'm a big theater fan.
Yeah. Catherine, I have a really funny story for you about that.
Okay.
So I was sending over money the other day, and I was sitting at the bank, and the woman was like, okay, so what's the name of this musical? And I said, oh, it's Millennials Are Killing Musicals. And she was a millennial, and she went, we are.
The big joke is that millennials are killing everything, right?
Yeah.
They're killing marriage and they're killing going to the movie theater and killing all this. But Nico, who wrote this, said, but will they kill musicals? So let's hope not.
Yeah. And they don't really intend it. It's just they're a little different on the way that they perceive things, which is really what this show is about, is our perceptions about fun and bliss and how we live our lives, right? Kind of lead everything, right?
Yeah.
So,
I love that. I love that about you. And I think bliss is an important thing in life. And we should all try to figure out what brings us bliss. And then, as a friend of mine says, squeeze every day like a lemon.
Oh, I love that.
Me too.
This is the Fun and Bliss Show. And I know that you are amazing around money. What's the most fun you've ever had making money?
Wow. When I was in my 20s, I was in cable television advertising. And I remember I went on a ski trip, and my accounts, I had built them up to be kind of on autopilot, you know how people say you're making money while you're sleeping? Well, I was making money while I was skiing. And I remember being on top of this mountain, looking out how beautiful it was, and getting a deposit in my account for like a lot of money. And I was like, wow, life is good, just doing what I love and making money at it and being able to enjoy life. I mean, really, what could be better than that? So it was just kind of a high. It was like my biggest month ever. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 30 years old. And I thought that was super cool.
While you were skiing. Yay!
Love the passive income. Love that.
Passive income, right. Exactly.
We're all about real estate, so that totally makes sense to us,
Yeah, I think real estate's one of the best investments for passive income. I'm in agreement with you girls on that.
Yeah, thank you for that. So you're not just participating in the conversation about money and women, but you're actually shifting it, right? With your movie and your movement and all of that stuff. So talk to me a little bit about when you first knew, Catherine, that the show her the money message needed to exist and be shared, because you've shared it in so many very big ways.
Well, thanks. That's a super great question. So, a long time ago, I had really come to the realization that I think it's film and television and theater that helps change culture. It's super powerful. And if we're going to change the narrative on anything, there has to be film and television about it to educate people in an entertaining and engaging storytelling way that they otherwise couldn't take it in. So you're like entertaining them and educating them at the same time. So I was about 10 years ago, I was putting on women's empowerment events. And at one point, I shifted to doing a pitch fest because I heard women were underfunded. So I said, let's have a panel of women investing in women entrepreneurs, and we're going to film it and make it into a series, which became She Angel series, still online. And during that time, I met some ladies in venture capital, and they were telling me that women only get 2% of venture capital funding. And I was like, well, first of all, why is that? Why would women only get 2% and men get 98%? And by the way, could you tell me what venture capital is exactly? And I came to find out that there were so many accomplished, smart people out there that A, didn't know what it was, didn't know what venture capital was, and B, nobody seemed to know that women only got 2%. So I was like, okay, this is a film. You know, I've made films in the past, and I like to make films about things that, you know, make a difference. And I thought, I can't believe there's not a film out there about this. We've got to make this film. And then started to find other like-minded women and men that thought the same thing. They agreed this movie needed to be made. I got so lucky to connect with the fabulous director, Kai Dickens, who then we went on the journey of, you know, raising money and casting this film. And it has been so fun and empowering and amazing, really, from day one. From the incredible people I've met that are involved in the film, that have invested in it, and the ones that are featured in it, to the people that I've met on our 100-city tour around the world that have come to see it. And I'm super excited that the next level is that now anyone can see it on Amazon or Apple TV. So kind of the next iteration of it is that anyone can see it. And we still do group viewings of it. People come to our website, showherthemoneymovie.com, and still license it to show at their university or at their entrepreneurial women's event or their summit. Have one coming up at Chief in LA. So at these type of locations, we're still doing screenings. And there's a magic when you get all the women in the room to see the movie about this underfunding issue and the story of these entrepreneurs and their journey to get funding, as well as the story of the women who are funding them, and then following that and figuring out where you as a viewer fit into that picture. And it's a very exciting arena to step into. Venture capital decides what are the future products and services that we're going to see. And don't we all want to be a part of deciding that? So it's super exciting to be on this journey.
Love it. Okay, well, I have two questions. First is, I think a lot of people who are listening to what you just said, probably like, how do you define venture capital? I guess is the first one. Like, maybe I'm not sure what it is. What is it actually? What is that?
That's another great question. And it's so easy for me to explain it because I had to learn from the ground up. And so it's easy for me to explain in lay terms. You know, you get a financial advisor and get them to explain it, and you'll still have a blank look on your face like, what is it? But our movie really defines it in a beautiful storytelling way, what it is. You walk out of our movie saying, oh, that's what venture capital is. Well, that was certainly simple to understand. One of the examples in the movie that Pocket Sun gave, she's the founder, one of the co-founders of SoGal Ventures, is she said it's like a mutual fund. People pool their money into a fund. Those are called LPs, limited partners. And then the general partners that run that fund, who are, financial experts, they decide where that money is going to be deployed. So they go out and look for the best entrepreneurs and vet them for you and deploy that capital. So you, as a fund investor, now have your investment divided into 20 or 30 different, usually portfolio companies. So now you're not betting everything on one company. It's like a mutual fund. You have a portfolio of companies. And I'd say the big difference between investing in venture capital, in my view, as opposed to a mutual fund on the public market that maybe your financial advisor has put you into, is this is more up close and personal. You can literally pick a fund that really resonates with your ideals and your desires and what's important to you. When you're having the wealth manager put it into some mutual fund, you probably don't even really know where your money is going. Is it really aligned with your values? The other thing is there's a much bigger potential upside to a company that's starting out than one that's already hit the public market. And so I think people have to step out of their comfort zone of only doing what the wealth advisor suggests and looking at alternative investments that might not be something they're even offering, like venture capital, like angel investing. We have to be bold and step into that arena. And I think next gen kids and millennials are really good about this. They really are looking at alternative investments, but the women with the biggest transfer of wealth happening in history, those women 40 plus that are inheriting wealth, they too need to be an integral part of changing this narrative and rebuilding the venture capital system to support women and people of color and LGBTQ, all of the ones that have been underserved and overlooked in the venture capital world. And we can rebuild that part of that ecosystem with integrity and intention. And who doesn't want to be a part of that? Like, we're pioneers in this. Let's get in and change that ecosystem and make it work for everyone. Let's democratize venture capital. I wish I were more passionate about this.
I know you're really not that passionate, but
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
just a little bit more, and then I love your passion, your energy for it. I have another question. What do people get completely wrong about women and investing?
I think what people get completely wrong about investing in women is I think that they don't realize that the statistics show that women make a better investment than men. They return 70 cents on the dollar for every dollar invested, and men return 30 cents. So women are better with money, probably because they have less of it, and tend to get a faster exit and build a more profitable company. So why wouldn't we be investing in women? And there's so many overlooked opportunities in that arena. So yeah, we need to be investing in women, not only because it's the right thing to do, not only because we can make an impact, but because we can build wealth and make a profit too.
So that is so good. And I had forgotten those numbers, Catherine. I've seen your movie probably 3 times. Absolutely love it. Anybody who has not seen it, go see it. It's a beautiful story. It doesn't play like a documentary. It's really, really emotionally engaging. I just love it.
Yeah, it's called Show Her the Money.
Yeah.
And
Show Her the Money.
A lot of people have told me that, Moneeka. It seems more like a feature film because you're following their stories, and there's a beginning, middle, and end, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, it's so good. But one of the things that I really saw, there were a couple of things in the movie that really impacted me. First of all, so we talked about why invest in women, but why are women not investing in women? So I have 2 questions. That's the first one. Why are women not investing in women? And then I'll get to the next one.
Okay, great. So the reason women aren't investing in women is women have, as the movie says, they've never thought of themselves as investors. They'll tend to hand the wealth manager their money and say, do what you think, and I want to keep it conservative, and let's just do bonds and savings account, basically. Where men take more of a risk, and they are that's how they're growing their wealth more than women are. Also, many married women will say, well, that's my husband, he takes care of it. And many women have seen our movie now and said, oh, I'm going to tell my husband we need to be investing in women, and we need to be investing in venture capital. So they need to step up and realize, women are smart. Women have good intuition. Women need to be investors. I know you all are very big in the real estate investment for women arena, and I think real estate is super great investment as well. Not always recommended, obviously, by wealth advisors because they don't benefit from it. And we have to be smart enough to educate ourselves on alternative wealth investing, where we can make money and make an impact and build our wealth to maximum capacity. So women have to start taking charge, being more confident, and getting in groups where there are other smart women being supportive of them. And I think that's what's starting to give us a propulsion in that arena, understanding we don't have to do it alone.
That's so good. Catherine, what would you say if you could change just one belief that women have about money? What would that be? Because there are a lot of them, right? Which one would you change?
I think just stop being afraid, thinking of being afraid. Like, your mind is a very powerful thing. And we tell ourselves stories and we say, oh, I have to put everything in something safe that's earning a piddly 3 or 4% because I can't lose anything. But you have to have a certain percentage of your portfolio, even if it's 5 or 10%, in something that has an opportunity to grow more than the cost of inflation, especially since women live longer. So we have to be willing to take a little risk. Men take a lot of risk. We have to be able to take some risk, more than we're taking. And we have to educate ourselves by joining groups of women that are angels, women that are in venture capital, women that are in real estate. Those groups are out there, and that will empower us to be around other women who are making money doing it that way.
And for a woman who's listening right now, who's thinking, but money isn't my thing, what would you say to her?
I would say money is power, and we need to vote with it, and we vote by where we put our money. And so every woman is an important investor because they have the ability to impact what's happening on the planet, for good or for bad. And so let's take our power back and use our money for the greater good, and at the same time build our wealth. Isn't that the perfect and most powerful combination?
Yep. So, Catherine, this is the Fun and Bliss Show, where we believe fun is a discipline to live a blissful life. And so we're all about living, right? Experiencing fun and living bliss. So I'm a little curious, do you think that fun and bliss actually impact financial success?
I do. I think if your life is a drag and you're not having fun, it's pushing down everything in your life, including your finances. So I think, yes, I think that's all tied in. So important to do what we love, be around people we love, fuel ourselves with great people with great energy, do what we love in our work, in our play, and have that balance. But yes, one of my focuses every day is to make sure I'm doing something that I have fun and brings me joy. And I think that propels everything in your life, your relationships, your money, your health, all of those things.
I love that. So in our show and in our mission, our momentum, we really think about what we call blissciplines, like those habits and rituals, either on a daily basis or very frequently, that makes us feel joyful, blissful, that are fun. What are some of those for you?
Some of those for me are, I'd like to set my intention every morning, to have a day, I see the day going well before it happens, kind of surrounded by a bright white light, and setting an intention to do what I meant to be doing on the planet, and to, bring out the best in myself, like bring the best person to the table. The other is at night, my wife and I write in a gratitude journal. I think it's very important when you lay your head on the pillow that you're at peace and looking at what you're grateful for the day.
Yeah.
And recounting those things. Sometimes the day goes by and you don't even realize really how many blessings have happened. So if you go back and really count those blessings again and relive them again, it brings you that same joy. So I think a gratitude journal is a great habit to have. I also like to walk every day. I think it's important to get things going, and exercise is important to releasing those endorphins. So whether it's working out at the gym or taking a walk or a combination of both, I think that's a mood elevator that's an important part of my day.
I love those.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Catherine, so you talk a lot about wealth and money, which is kind of an uncomfortable conversation for women. And Monique and I are talking about fun and bliss. And so it feels in life like they're separate. Even when we talk about our bliss disciplines allow us to stabilize into this sort of habit of being blissful, right? But people do feel like it's separate, especially women. And but I don't think so. I think they're the same. I think all of it is the same. We're the same person. All of it lives inside of us. All of it lives inside of our life. So talk to me a little bit about building wealth from a place of joy instead of from a place of stress, which is where most people land around money.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I do think money can give you security, peace of mind, and the ability to give back, do things that you want to do. So it is all tied together. When you have joy in something you're doing, I think money and joy are tied together in that, well, like I just said, if you have security, if you're able to give back and pay it forward, if you're able to do the things that you want to do, like travel or whatever brings you joy, they are tied together. And so I think it's important to put a focus on that.
Have you ever followed something that felt really aligned for you, even if it didn't make logical sense at all, and it led to something amazing?
That's the one thing I love about connecting people. I think there's a magic in that you never know where it's going to lead. And then it does turn into magic. And so every day I feel like either on a Zoom or on a podcast or in person, I meet the most incredible people, and I really love connecting them to each other. And I think that a magic comes out of that. So I don't know if that answered your question.
I think it does. You're such an Uber connector.
You are an Uber connector.
Yeah, it's definitely part of your zones of genius, or
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it. That's all. And I wish more people would find the joy in it, because there's a lot in that. And it's something that people should build up and try to do, because you'd find a lot of joy in it.
Catherine, one of the things that I love about you is that you're such a connector, and you're so community oriented, and you are really focused on your relationships. And those are all very feminine aspects, right? There's something that we as women do very naturally, and we love and we thrive in, right? And so many women think that the way to become successful is to become harder, to become more like men. But I don't think that that's true. I think that our power of connection, of being joyful, having fun, being blissful, all of those things can really lead to success. Could you talk a little bit more about that, sort of the softer side of building wealth, right?
Well, one of my favorite sayings is Maya Angelou, and she says, people don't remember what you said. They remember how you make them feel. So I think if you're being a hard ass, I don't think you're really going to attract a lot of good people. I think you just have to be your genuine, authentic self and take a genuine interest in people. And I think that's the magic of connecting and being your feminine self. And men have a feminine side too. So yeah, I think you just have to be your authentic self.
How do you incorporate fun with money?
How do I incorporate fun with money? Like my wife and I went to a Lambda Legal fundraiser the other day. I feel like that combines giving with having fun. Met a lot of really awesome people and it was an awesome place and they're doing awesome work. So it's very fulfilling to use money in that way. And yet it's like a social event. And so, yeah, I feel like that's the best of both.
Yeah, I love
Giving
that.
and having. How about with making money?
With making money, well, I think if you do something good and you get rewarded for it, that feels good. If you refer somebody and then that comes back to you financially, great. Or you're advising a company and you get rewarded financially, that's a plus. I think that's a win-win. I think that's the reward is when it's a win-win.
Yeah. I have to just say that I attended a webinar that Catherine did called Putting the Fun in Fundraising. And I will just say that, and we say fun is fundamental, right? So, and so many people don't think of fundraising as fun, but it was so beautiful how you talked about it, Catherine. And it felt fun even during the conversation. And so much of that is about the connection that you build with people and the joy that you see in them and the joy that you can bring to them through through the exciting projects that you're doing. So I really love that you're actually living it, right? So you've got this movement and you're actually living it and you're sharing it and you're modeling it, right? What would the world look like if more women had more wealth and opted for fun with it?
I think we're trying to move into that, don't you, with this big transfer of wealth and showing women, hey, you can take that money and not only grow it, but utilize it for the greater good and make an impact. And I think women are really good about that. Look at all the billionaire women that we have today, more than we've had before, right? The girl from Poppy or Melinda Gates, or, there's a half a dozen of them or more. And there's going to keep being more and more. They always are doing such great things with their money, right? It gives them the affordability to do that. And they can see the value in doing that I think a lot of men don't see that are billionaires, right? And so that is the difference between men and women. But the more wealth that women have, absolutely the more fun they can have and the more impact they can have. And I was listening to Mel Robbins not too long ago, and she said, everything is not always measured by how much money did you make. Sometimes it's how much fun did you have. And so, of course, if it's both, then that's a plus. But sometimes when we're doing something, it isn't always to make money. Sometimes it's just to have a good time and have fun. But the combination of the two is always the best.
Love that. Well, we're big fans of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's not fun, let's just not do it.
Yeah. I told someone a long time ago, someone told me this and then I repeat it. If I can't have fun, I don't want to play. It's that simple.
I love it. Yeah. And then going back on what Moneeka was saying, I'd love to know a little bit more about how you put fun into fundraising. What are some?
This is what I tell people. Basically, in the nutshell, putting the fun in fundraising means don't go into it looking like, oh, this is a drag. I got to go raise money. People will feel that. You walk into the room, you don't want to be desperate and you don't want to be a drag. And so it has to, you have to have that enthusiasm about what it is you're raising money about, or don't do it. If it's not something you're passionate about, don't do it. So you have to have that passion and be super excited about what it is you're raising money for. And then when you walk in a room of 100 or 200 people, probably of those 200 people, there might be 195 that don't care what you're doing. You have to find the 5 that are your people, that are like-minded. Doesn't mean you don't want to meet the other people. They may be super fascinating and you get to meet them and learn about them. And maybe you know someone that they're meant to meet. And that's where that connecting magic comes in. So if you meet somebody who's not interested in what you're doing, find out what they do and keep that in your back pocket, in your mind for someone else. But meanwhile, move on. Andrea Quinn says people spend too much time not trying to make not their people their people.
Mm.
So
I
if
love
somebody's not
that.
interested in you or your product, then move on and go find someone who is as enthusiastic about it as you are. That's who's going to invest in you.
I love that. So what I heard was that you have to be having fun doing what you're doing. You show up with that fun energy. You're going to magnetize the right people, and then you can help other people along the way.
Exactly. And you only want to accept the right people into funding your business. You don't even want to accept people that aren't going to bring good energy or belief in you or your product. The most important thing is that you have to understand you're asking for money for that purpose on the planet. You are not asking for yourself. And if you go in with that mindset, you can approach people in a different way. So it's not personal to you, but it's like, I'm not asking for myself. I'm asking, I had this download. This is my purpose on the planet. I know it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And if you think so too, well, then let me let you in on this opportunity to get behind my project or my innovation. And a lot of people don't have those downloads. They don't have those innovations, but they have the money and they want to invest in people that have great ideas and great inventions, right? And so you're out there looking for people who are actually looking for you and for your great idea. And so, but remove yourself from it. It's not for you. It's for that great purpose on the planet. That's what you're raising money for.
Love that.
Catherine, that is so powerful. And it's amazing how just stepping away from it a little bit, like I really felt that because I'm raising money right now. Just to step away from it, not making it all about my project and can I be successful around it because this means so much to me, but allowing other people to really feel into, is that cause important enough to them for them to engage, right?
Exactly.
But it takes your own sort of personal, like this fear of rejection, it kind of takes it out of there,
It does.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Go ahead, Monique.
All right. Someone who's listening or who's inspired right now, what's one small step they can take today to start shifting their financial life?
Well, of course, I'm going to say watch Show Her the Money movie on Amazon or Apple TV because I think it's a great lesson in seeing how people handle everything from building funding for entrepreneurship to being an investor. And so all of those components are important. And so I think the movie touches everyone in some way about how they're handling their wealth, their funding, their investing. Yeah, that's my advice. Watch Show Her the Money.
It's so good and so
We
true.
also have a great book. Show Her the Money book features all the incredible people that helped make the film possible. I raised over $1 million to make the film. And these are the incredible people who believed in the project. And they're all so successful and extraordinary in their own right that every one of their stories inspires myself and anybody reading it. And so Show Her the Money book is also a great way to jumpstart your own enthusiasm and show how these people went from nothing to building their empires. And so, yeah, I think the book is also a great read.
I do really enjoy the book. I've got it on my coffee table.
Thank you.
It's got lots of beautiful pictures and all of that. So it's fantastic. Catherine, if you could whisper one truth into every woman's ear about money and her worth, what would you say?
Every woman on the planet has a value and can contribute to making the world a better place. And one of those ways is using your investment dollars to make an impact.
Love that.
Yeah, so powerful.
All right. So now we're going to shift gears into our rapid fire round here. No need to overthink it. Just go with your first instinct.
Okay. You.
So please reframe these statements. So the first is money is stressful. How would you reframe that?
So you're saying reframe money is stressful. I would
Yeah.
say money can be super fun and empowering.
Yes. And then let's reframe this one. I'm not good with money.
Okay, we're going to reframe I'm not good with money with I am good with money and I am growing my money, and money is making me powerful and growing my wealth and helping me make a difference on the planet.
Okay.
Love it. About this one, investing is risky.
Okay, we're going to reframe investing is risky. Everything in life has a risk, but high risk, high reward. So, time to jump into investing and take some risk and get some high rewards.
Oh, yes. So good.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this one's not a reframe. Catherine, just complete this sentence. Bliss to me means.
Bliss to me means feeling the joy of family, friends, and what I'm doing work wise, fun wise on the planet. All of those things that bring joy.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what's your go-to activity when you need a joy boost?
My
Instant joy boost.
go-to activity for a joy boost would either be maybe going out to dinner and dancing with my wife, or taking a fabulous trip to somewhere I've never been before.
Mm-hmm. We can relate to both of those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is our final kind of quick round one. What's one totally silly thing that never fails to make you laugh?
Oh gosh. What my wife makes me laugh every day. She's got a great sense of humor. She got some good zingers. So I think it would be my wife's sense of humor.
I love that.
Love
For me, it's my husband. He's so silly, but I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good to laugh every day.
It is.
And
So
have
good.
spouses that support that
Yeah.
in big
I
ways.
know. They say
Yeah.
if you laugh, it's like it has a reoccurring effect on your body for like 24 or 48 hours.
If you could ask people to, or invite everybody listening to do one tiny little experiment to feel more fun or bliss or confidence around money in their lives, just one little experiment, what would you suggest they try this week?
Oh gosh, one little experiment. I think action is what helps people grow. And so if you've never really invested on your own, just taking that step to finally invest in something that you never invested in before to see how impactful it is and how empowering it feels.
I love that. And do
I
you
thought
have
you two would love that.
You're
I'm talking
speaking
your
our love
language.
Totally.
Do you have a free gift or resource that you'd love to share with our audience?
You know, our She Angel Investors website is filled with resources, everything from experts to groups to join, podcasts, books. I've tried to make it really rich with resources. So I would just say sheangelinvestors.com is a great place to go. No matter what you want to do, how you want to learn, grow your business, build your wealth, everything's right there.
Awesome.
That's perfect. Catherine, I've said it so many times and I want to say it again. Thank you so much for all that you are doing in the world to empower women in our wealth. You know that's a topic that's so close to both Monica's and my hearts. We've dedicated our whole lives for a long time to helping women, to empower them to find their way to having wealth and doing it in a blissful or fun or passionate way. So
Yes,
your
you two
work,
are such trailblazers in women in real estate space. I really applaud you for that.
thank you. And you are a real trailblazer around venture capital for women. So I just want to say thank you so much for doing what you do and for joining us and sharing all your brilliance today.
Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. And I love sharing it on your platform and feel very honored to be on the show today. So thank you both. Hugs to you both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was fun.
Yeah, it
Super
was fun.
fun. Great questions, y'all. Loved it.
Wow, that was such a fun conversation with Catherine Gray.
It really was. You know what I love about Catherine is her authenticity and how willing she is to share her ideas, her resources, her community, and everything around that. She's such a giving, generous person.
She is. I really love every time I've gotten to speak with her, and I'm so excited that we got to introduce her to all of our listeners here. And also, one of the things that really stuck with me was when she was talking about putting the fun in fundraising. And show, like the energy that you show up with makes such a huge difference. And if you are having fun and you can come with that like passion because of doing what you love, like, doors open, sky's the limit, you attract the right people. And I hope everybody listening got that and that you can take that same energy into whatever you're doing, even if it's not fundraising. But if you that meeting at work, that client gathering, the PTA meeting, whatever it is, but if you show up with that, doors fly open.
Yeah, that's exactly what we talk so much about here, right? In the Fun and Bliss Show. It's about making sure that everything we do is fun, or at least putting a touch of fun into everything we do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if something from this conversation really resonated with you, I want to invite you to take a small step this week. Maybe go watch the movie or grab the book or invest in something new. Try one of the practices that Catherine shared.
And if you'd like to learn more about Catherine and her work, you can find links in the resources she mentioned and in the show notes for this episode.
If you enjoyed this conversation, and if you know someone who needs to hear this, please share it with them. Someone who could use a little more bliss, inspiration, joy, and abundance in their lives, they will thank you.
Yes, they will. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow the Fun and Bliss Show so you never miss an episode.
Thanks so much for spending this time with us.
Until next time,
Keep choosing fun.
and keep living your bliss.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Fun and Bliss Show.
Where fun is our practice.
And bliss is our lifestyle.
If this episode sparked your joy,
Share it, subscribe, and join the movement.
stay fun,
Stay blissful.
and see you next time.
I'm a spark, I'm a flame.